Good morning. Hello and welcome everyone. I am Sameer Dhamane. I head BFSI business for Redis India. Today we are on the streets of South Mumbai. You can see the iconic landmarks around us. This is the CSMT building. We are looking at the BMC building, and this is the old heritage Times of India building, which combines the history, architectural elegance, and it's the combination of Times of India's legacy. So with that, I would want to bring you to this special episode of Milliseconds to Millions, Redis and AWS at the core of HDFC Securities growth. And on this special episode, I am thrilled to welcome Surajit Deb, HDFC Securities CTO. Please join me in welcoming him. Hello, Surajit. Good morning.
Good morning, Sameer.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. How are you feeling about this morning?
Glad to be with you today, Sameer. Super excited to have this conversation.
Thank you so much, Surajit. What do you feel about these landmarks? The cool morning breeze and this architectural legacy what we have.
There can't be a better weather in Mumbai, you understand, right? I mean, you stand in front of these buildings, it gives you a very, very humble feeling. And you think about the times it has stood, right? All the way from, the independence of India, the last 70 years. And these buildings have stood the test of time.
Awesome.
I mean, the kind of resilience they have shown, it's just, makes us mindful of the fact that we live in the city which is giving us a huge.
Awesome. So let's dive deep into the conversation. Please join me. Thank you.
Excited. Thank you.
I want to start with, can you tell me something about yourself, your background, and your role at HDFC Securities?
So, Sameer, we have been talking to each other for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Right? And you know me.
Yes.
I actually love to build, simple systems, simple structures, which performs efficiently. I mean, if you ask me, that's what I think I am. Now, I've been, working for about 25 years now, right?
Yeah.
Grew up in a small town in the eastern part of India.
Yeah.
Started working with one of the, leading IT service providers in India, in Delhi, and that's about 25 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
And it's been an interesting journey in the last 25 years, right?
Yeah.
Starting off writing, code snippets,
Yeah.
to building systems, to leading transformation programs, to actually running end-to-end enterprise scale IT now. Right?
Yeah.
Been, doing that for quite some time now.
Okay.
At the core, I still continue to be an engineer. Right?
Yeah.
What drives me is actually problems, right?
Yeah.
Picking up problems,
Yeah.
taking problems head on rather,
Yeah.
and solving them in a way
Yeah.
which sustains, for years. I mean,
Oh,
not taking shortcuts, for example.
absolutely.
Right? So that's practically what I've been. Now at HDFC, I currently, lead the transformation of the technology backbone. I mean, we have been in business for the last 25 years.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Unfortunately, we will have our Silver Jubilee celebration
Wow,
next year.
looking forward to it.
So, as we embark into the new phase of HDFC Securities, we are transforming the technology backbone, right?
Yeah.
The way that the disruption has happened on the back of technology and digital, it is important that we live up to the times and transform ourselves, right? And that's exactly what I did today in HDFC.
Because HDFC Securities has got its own standing in the financial services sector. It brings in its own legacy. How do you manage the legacy piece of it, driving growth, innovation, all these clubbing together, running at the back of your mind? How do you try to sustain, manage, all these things together?
So
It's a tightrope walk, right?
It's interesting. Think about it. My first bank account after I started worked with HDFC.
Yeah.
My first home loan was funded by HDFC.
And that's
So
what
the-
brought you to HDFC, is it?
So the relationship with HDFC has been long-standing even before I started working here.
Awesome.
Right? Now, why did I go to HDFC back in those days? Right?
Yeah.
HDFC really embodies what we call trust of customer. Trust,
Oh, that's
stability, integrity. Those are the stuff which actually makes the brand. Right?
Yeah.
And HDFC Securities, of course, we offer a subset of the offerings that the group brings.
Yeah.
But the ethos of trust, transparency, integrity, and the stability that is there as a part of the group is what really drives us. Right?
Wow.
So
The trust piece is
the trust
the
is
most
very
important
because
thing.
in financial services there is nothing more than trust. I mean, and that's why customers come to us.
Awesome.
So we're really trying to leverage and build upon the trust which has been built over the last 25 years and offer more and better services to our customers.
Lovely. So nice to hear that, trust, integrity, that is the fulcrum of financial services sector. And, hearing it, directly from you, I mean, that gives us quite confidence about, we are in the right hands, right? So Surajit, before having further conversation, let's have a look at the legacy of this iconic building. Please join. So yes, Surajit, we were at the ground floor of this building, and now we are on the top of this old architectural legacy building of Times of India. And look at this beautiful skyline. That is CSMT building. This is BMC building. Uh, you know, just imagine 100 years back, only these structures. That is Mazgaon Dock, sprawling. These architectures. Nothing. This kind of clutter. It just look awesome. And about these architectural legacies as well, you can see this BMC building. They used to these demons, right?
Demons,
Those were used to scare people.
Okay.
Right. So that's again, interesting fact which I got to
wasn't
know.
aware, but I've always seen these demons. Never knew that they were there to scare people.
Yeah, that also is a story which I got to know. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
wonderful. So I was actually doing some reading about this building.
Yeah.
If you see that lady at the top of the CSMT building there,
Ah, okay.
I don't know if you noticed, there is this wheel on the left hand side and there's a torch pointed on the right, right?
Yeah.
Now this, as far as I know, this building
Yeah.
was completed in 1897.
Yeah.
And back in 1897, that was a symbol of technological progress.
Oh, is it?
Bombay, as it was called back then,
Yeah.
was one of the most advanced, places in India technologically because of the mills and factories around. And
Wow.
that was a symbol which was created for the Queen visiting India.
Oh, lovely. I mean, that's a thing to know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I was also not aware about this. Thanks for bringing that out. So, I mean, looking at that legacy, the technological progress, taking a cue from there, in today's world, as a technology leader, you might be juggling between or doing a tightrope walk of the legacy piece of it at HDFC Securities, the innovation growth, what we were talking about. And when we say these new emerging techs like machine learning, AI, how are you managing all this stuff?
Personally, I don't think in business we do technology just for the heck of doing tech, right? There
Yeah.
has to be a reason as to why do we do technology. It has to impact the top line and bottom line. I mean, there are 4 or 5 things that I usually consider when I, think about tech. The first one is about experience, right? Does the tech deliver better experience for our customers, for our employees? The second thing that I think about when I talk tech is actually efficiency. Does it deliver better operational efficiency?
Yeah, interesting.
The third thing which comes to my mind is actually scale. Does it allow us to scale? The fourth thing which comes to my mind is actually, compliance. Right? Can I do that in a way which is more compliant?
Yeah.
But the fifth point, which also is very important, is
Yeah.
are we doing something which is making us ready for the future?
Right? So all these clubbing together, these are just means for driving this
There are
critical
means
factors.
for driving technology. See, there are a lot of discussions, debates going on about what can and cannot be achieved with AI. We've been talking about generative AIs in the last few years. I mean,
Absolutely.
there cannot be a boardroom discussion now without talking about, AI specifically. So
Correct.
are we doing something? Yes, we are.
Another quick question which comes to my mind, you were saying that there are a lot of discussions which are happening in board about technology. What do you think from a futuristic perspective for, the CXOs or the CIOs, CTOs taking over, the business leader positions? What's your view on that?
See, one thing that I've noticed in the last 25 years, I've seen technology operate in the back room. I mean, we've seen, tech coming from all the way from the back room into the
driver's seat.
into the driver's seat. If not the driver's seat, it actually now at least has a seat in the boardroom.
Absolutely.
Will that actually lead companies in future? It's time to tell, but highly likely. I mean, it can happen. I mean,
Looking
if you
forward
see
to that day.
the technology companies coming and getting into the business of financial services,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
The Google's doing Google Pay, the Amazon's doing Amazon Pay.
Yeah,
Many of these are
absolutely.
actually
That's
getting
the
into
way
tech.
we are heading to.
So, and they are the ones who are disrupting the industry,
Correct.
right? And these are people with tech mindset coming and disrupting the industry.
Yeah.
There's quite a possibility that at some point in time, people actually driving the traditional financial services will really come from the tech world.
How do you see Redis fitting into the natural journey of your tech landscape? along with AWS, big tech, right? Redis being a emerging tech. What's your view on that?
We've talked about the environment that we operate in, right?
Yeah.
We're dealing with extremely high demand in terms of scalability, right? Ability to scale up and scale down very fast. We're dealing with demands of low latency processing. We're dealing with situations where glitches are not acceptable. So some of this is where the public clouds fit in. Some of this is where technologies like Redis fit in, because as I said in the earlier also, that we have to interoperate between what we already have and also bring in something which takes us forward.
Absolutely.
So a lot of our workloads run on public cloud. Interoperating between the workload which runs on our data center and something which works on the public cloud needs technologies to work in between. So caching data from our legacy into caching platforms like Redis, be able to deploy applications on Kubernetes clusters so that it scales up and scales down. Those are really the way we are scaling. I mean, these are bread and butter of what we do today.
Absolutely. And Redis being at the core of the growth of HDFC Securities, what we have been doing from so long, the performance aspect, providing the low latency piece of it. I think that's where I wanted to hear your perspective on these things. But thank you so much for bringing. Other thing is, what would be your message to other emerging companies or technology leaders who want to see themselves like HDFC Securities in coming years? What would be your messaging to them?
There are companies who have been born in the cloud. What we call the digital natives or technology first companies. So they operate in a very different world. They have this, what we call, they're fortunate to have that, a lean structure from the day they started, right? Many of those companies started in the last 8-10 years.
Absolutely.
And many of these currently available technologies are available. So their tech stacks are much more leaner. I mean, it's very, very easy for anybody to go and tell, these technologies are old and doesn't work. But would you be able to dump it overnight? The answer is no. There is always a gradual process where
it's a journey.
It's a journey, piece by piece, module by module, to gradually refactor, revamp to get to that end state that you want to be.
Awesome. Right? Those are great insights, and that too coming from a leader like you, who is driving such critical transformation at HDFC Securities. Thank you so much, Surajit, for having this great conversation on this beautiful morning. Surajit Deb, CTO HDFC Securities.
Thank you for your time, Sameer.
Thank you, Surajit. Thank you so much. Until next time, I am Sameer Dhamane signing off.